Hello, welcome to Ballroom Feed. Today we're going to be doing the first step in our wedding waltz series. We're going to learn the box step today. Let's go ahead and jump right in.
All right, so the leader's foot directions. So I go forward on my left foot, side on my right foot, and I close my feet together. My right foot's free to now go backwards, side on the left foot, and my feet close together again. So it was forward, side, together, back, side, together, and my timing is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One time from the side maybe here, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
All right, now time for the follower's footwork. So we're gonna go back on the right foot, side on the left foot, closing our feet together, switching our weight. Then we go forward on the left, side on the right, closing our feet and switching. Let's do that again. So I'm gonna go back, side, together, forward, side, together, back, side, together, forward, side, together. Now if we add some timing, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'll go one time from the side, and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if it's easier to keep track of your feet. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So leading and following this around, we can default to a straight box where we don't rotate at all, right? We'll do one time from behind. So you can see I'm gonna go straight forward and then straight back. No rotation, casual walking steps. We stay left aligned of each other the entire time. So if you were to look straight forward, you would see over your partner's shoulder. We can obviously look at each other. This is our wedding style waltz. So again, it's a very casual hold.
More intimate than normal.
So this isn't too complicated. If you're struggling with it, however, though, especially if this is the first dance you've ever learned or first partner dance, you can always do it with more space. So a lot of times when we do a basic, we use a practice hold to make this easier, where as a leader, my hands are underneath and she puts her forearms on top. So we're basically holding at each other's elbows. Then we do the same thing, but we have more space. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And what the idea is here in terms of connection and moving yourself is we're looking for the hands and the elbows not to move at all. And if you feel like they do move, either you push or she releases or vice versa, then it's not gonna work in closed dance position either. So if you feel like you can check this box, no pun intended, that the hands and the elbows don't move at all, then you're gonna be ready to do this together because you're not gonna negatively affect each other.
Yes, so one question that we get a lot is how big should my steps be? So that question is a loaded question if we're talking about technical, like true ballroom waltz, which when you're dancing for your wedding, most people don't want it to look stiff. We want it to look very intimate and comfortable. So by that, we mean the most natural step size for you. So if you're walking down the street, whatever your natural stride is gonna be, that is what we're looking for. So of course we do have couples that have some height differences. So in that case, typically I'd say for the leader maybe to shorten his step a little bit because the follower will most likely have some sort of dress on, some heels. So it can be really uncomfortable to take really big steps. So I'd say smaller is best for that.
Yeah, there's like two versions of when we dance. There's either like the most casual version or even competitive, or let's just even like the grandest version of what you're trying to do, right? When we try to say casual, we say like, okay, shoulder width apart is basically as big as my step would get. That as wide as my shoulders or her shoulders are, because they're a little smaller obviously, that's as big as we're gonna step. And if we're looking to make this a bigger dance, the frame would get bigger, the steps would now become more like elbow width apart because the frame got bigger. So it's an interesting measuring point you can kind of use to see how far they're gonna go.
Yeah, so now we'll talk about how to rotate this box to make it a little more interesting.
Yes, taking the same exact step, but then just seeing a different wall every few steps adds a lot to it. So when we use the casual version of this dance, stepping small, I do try to turn right away. So my body turns to the left as I walk forward, and it turns to the left as I go backwards. With this basic and this box, I can only turn to the left. It will not work turning the other direction. So if we do this one more time. I can turn when I go forward and when I go backwards in this very small casual version of this dance. So I go forward turning side together and then back turning side together. You can see I'm not using my hands to make her turn. It's me rotating my own body around to the left and her keeping up with me. No version of me needs to push and pull her around because she does not like that at all.
Yeah, so for the follower, I don't think I mentioned this in this specific video, we're not pulling him into the amount of turn. It might vary each time he does it. I would recommend less turn for sure in the beginning. So like 1/8 of a turn each time you rotate would be an appropriate amount. Definitely no more than 1/4 turn, but I'd say 1/8 of a turn is probably a comfortable spot to start. Yeah. That being said, the follower is just gonna go with the flow. We're still focusing on our foot directions, going back side together, forward side together while he's rotating us counterclockwise, but we're not gonna pull him in the direction. We're gonna let him lead us through that, okay? Yeah,
one quick troubleshoot for this, if it's not really working or you're not lining up really well, is I need to be able to do it, we need to both be able to do it by ourselves. But I as a leader, at least the minimum, should be able to do this box and rotate myself around to the left. Because sometimes it's really just that even on my own I feel kind of funny about turning, you know? So if I can do it comfortably on my own, then together I really shouldn't change anything, which is nice.
Yeah. If
we came back to like one last key point for learning this box or learning the waltz in general, it really comes down to closing your feet all the way in the two far corners of the box. I mean, there's not two farther corners, but you know what I mean. So the most important thing is that our feet actually close all the way together, and it keeps us really balanced, it keeps us really aligned. If we start to walk and pass our feet and not close them anymore, the box starts to get kind of messy, and when we start to do other patterns, they're not gonna work out very well.
Yeah. Okay, so feel free to practice this one as much as you need before continuing through. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video.
Bye.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up so we know, and subscribe for more videos. If you didn't know, we do have a website, ballroom.com, where we have all of these videos completely ad-free, plus many more. So if you wanted more than what you see here, be sure to go check that out. And of course, technique, combos, all of that's there too. And we'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye.